Hello folks, welcome to Lester's Custom Truck Shop. Gary C. in Ohio. This is the Lincoln 2 Plus you've asked me to build for that special project. I'm getting ready to get started on it. Just doing the testing, making sure the radio works okay before we start the mods. More to come. What we're doing now is getting ready to take the parts out. So, putting lots of solder on here where I can heat up all the component leads at the same time to make it easy to get them out of the board. I've got to reach in there and get a hold of them. When I heat them up, they just pull out. I think I'm probably out of camera view. Let me adjust that a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. And then I just heat up the leads so they come through the board and the component just drops right out. Well, it don't drop out, but I help it a little and it comes right out. This one here has wires in the way, so I need to disconnect these, move them out of the way. Just like that. I'm going to do the same thing with the filters. And I'll come back with a solder pullet clean out the holes. Yeah, I didn't let that one heat up long enough. The center ones on the filters are connected directly to ground, so you have to heat up the whole ground plane around it to completely melt the solder through the hole or the eyelet, like that. I don't like leaving it on there too long on these other holes, because that releases the glue. Takes the holes for the filters. Yeah. Okay. Now before I get too crazy, yeah, I've got tape on my bench and it's clean, but I'm gonna put some protective tape on the. Normally don't put the tape on these black covers because they don't, they're not like a chrome. They don't scratch very easy. But just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna go ahead and put some on here. But you can see, it's just not scratched. I'm still gonna put some tape on it just to make sure it doesn't get scratched. This little radio here is a very popular radio. I sell a whole lot of these and the President McKinleys. So the President has made a good comeback. All right. Probably the first thing I want to do, install the CP1. Quick. There's actually a trick to installing these in the Lincolns. take solder. The tip of my iron is not getting hot enough. I had to turn the temperature up a little bit. I don't want to turn it up too much. Just like that. Make sure the right wire goes on the right pin. sure the connection doesn't break. I don't want this flopping around, so we're going to put some underneath it and glue it to the board. There. All done. Okay. Capacitors. Okay, I'm ready to install the capacitors. Actually, I need to put a couple of standoffs on there. I make my standoffs on these old spray tubes that come off of things like the WD-40 cleaners and cans. They're perfect for this kind of thing. And I'm putting standoffs on these to get them above the little surface mount components that are on the board. So that nothing happens to those, because these are circumference are a little bit larger than the, well, a lot larger than the stock ones. Add a little bit of hot glue to hold them in place when I set them on there, because if not, they have a tendency to slide down and fall off when you go to install them. Don't take much. These are 3300 microfarad at 25 volts. That one replaced the 1000 for the voltage regulator. Now get this, they put a 1000 in there for the voltage regulator circuit, but then they put a 470 for the DC input in the back of the radio. Just something's wrong with that picture. So if you're experiencing engine noise, pulsating noise, or even some computer noise, these larger capacitors will help take it out. The main reason that I put these larger capacitors in there, they act as buffers. In other words, when you talk real loud into the microphone, the radio pulls a little bit of extra current. Okay? So what these do, these larger capacitors, they give a little bit back. They actually store a little bit of current. Now these are too small to store a whole lot. But for little peaks, like your strong words, they give a little bit of current back and keep the voltage level up. And by doing that, it increases your average output. If they ever come out with super capacitors with large enough voltage and small enough size, I'll start using those. But so far, capacitors that would fit in these spaces are only rated at 2.3 and 2.7 volts. Well, that's not going to work in a 14 volt, 13.8, 14 volt radio. Okay. All right, there's our new capacitors. Now I'm getting ready to install the narrower filters. It's part of the, all this is part of the Blescom enhancements. These filters are narrower than the stock filters. You know what? I need to plug those back in first. Okay. Now I can do the filters. I have to mount these so that the dot is facing each other. These are, I believe they're NGKs or NDKs, something like that. I use a little bit of hot glue to hold them in place so I can solder them. Then I'll take the hot glue off. They use RTV, or white RTV, room temperature vulcanization, silicone rubber. Fortunately, it all came out with the filters. Just thinking my receiver, I'm not hearing that much skip this morning. I had some antenna problems. Had a Solarcon, well, not a Solarcon, I had an IMAX 2000 before Solarcon, I think it was Solarcon bought them out. A Road Pro or whoever it was. I got one that's been up since 2000. The one I had problems with, I put it up in 2006. The top element broke. So, it looked like a cold solder joint, so I wanted to touch that up. So the top element broke out of it. Well, I just bought a new one, you know. This time it was branded Solarcon. Put the new one up. And of course I saved the good parts of the old one. I put it up May 23rd. On June 12th, we had some really gusty winds here in Florida. Upwards of 65 mile an hour gust. And bear in mind, these IMAX 2000 are supposed to be rated to, or they used to be rated to, 100 mile per hour gust. I know y'all will correct me if that's wrong. But the antenna broke right at the base, right where it's mounted to the pole. And I mean broke. Shattered it completely. Laid over towards my driveway. Laid over towards the parking lot. Oh, actually in the way of the parking lot. Some of the spaces. So, what I wound up doing was taking it down again, using the base and center section off of the old antenna and the top portion off of the new antenna. And I was looking at the new antenna, the part that broke where it shattered. The fiberglass now on those is thinner than a bamboo pole. I don't know if you've ever seen the inside of a bamboo or not, but the walls are not that thick. Same thing with these new Solarcon IMAX 2000s. Not very pleased with them. I think they're junk. You know, I've reached out to Solarcon and sent pictures and stuff, but I haven't heard back from them. Hell, they may not even be Solarcon anymore, but I haven't received any kind of reply. Okay, filters and everything are in. Now I'm getting ready to do the 1K ohm resistor. For the full coverage mod. My little Hakko needle nose, flat needle nose pliers are the perfect size for spacing these out. I use a 1/8 resistor. Come here, solder. Got big fingers, so I couldn't pick the solder up. I know y'all can't see a lot of what I'm doing. I'm sorry about that, but I have to get in there where I can do it. Okay, so now comes the tune-up. I know you guys don't want to listen to all the tones and beeps. So I'm going to pause the video here, and I'll be back as soon as I finish the tune-up. I also got to set the bias and all that stuff. So more to come. Okay. Tune-up is all done. There's S9 on the receiver. We're set at 100 microvolts, 30% modulation. All right. And let me put the covers on it, and I'll show you the output power. More to come. Okay, she's all done. Okay, now you can turn that beep off by holding the, well, you guys know that. What's neat about this, get the other camera set up, started here. What's neat about this is that Gary and his son have both given each other radios customized by me. They're both Lincoln 2s. You saw the one that I built for the father, Gary, And Gary is getting me to make this one, build this one for his son. So I think that's really neat. Okay, let's do some power checks. I showed you the receiver. Well, let's see. Let me show that to you again so I can show you on this camera. Okay, that's S9. 100 microvolts, 30% modulation. Okay, and let me get my camera stand here. That thing's the right height to set this camera on so we can see the meters. And I'm also recording on the other camera, on the GoPro. I am on AM, channel 20. Dead key in 10 watts. RF power's all the way up. Hello, audio, audio, 1, 2. Audio, hello, audio, 1, 2, 1, 2, audio. Now, you can see that every now and then it peaks to 50. This radio still has FQP 13N10s in it, and they are notorious for acting like fuses. So I did turn it down a little bit. Instead of having it go full bore and hit 50 watts all the time, I backed it off a little. Okay. Audio, hello, audio. Audio, 1, 2, 1, 2, audio. And that's to increase the life of the power transistors. All right. That's in AM. This is FM. We're dead key in 30 watts. Okay. Ignore the peak meter in FM. We're doing 30 watts in FM. Okay. This is upper side. I'm going to go ahead and go to lower side. Hello, audio. Audio, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Audio testing, testing, 1, 2. 1, 2, audio. Audio, hello, hello, audio. You see that it's peaking at 60. I went ahead and let it peak at 60 on sideband because, you know, they're peaks. It doesn't stay over there all the time like it does on AM and FM. Okay. Hello, audio, audio, 1, 2, 1, 2, audio. Audio, hello, hello, audio. Now, those FQP 13N10s, they're hot little transistors, but like I said, they have a tendency to act like fuses. I've gotten numerous radios, both the Lincoln 2, the Anytones, AT66, where people have turned them all the way up, and of course those FQP 13N10s don't last. They can't take that. They come in here all blown apart, and of course the radio's not working. They plug it in, blows a fuse, etc., etc. So I did turn them down, set the bias perfectly, so they should last. Okay. But that's going to do it. All right. Gary Jr., I sure hope you enjoy your new radio. It was my pleasure to set them up for you guys. 7-3, everybody. Stay safe. Everybody. Happy Father's Day. Stay safe. What's neat about this is that Gary and his son have both given each other radios customized by me. They're both Lincoln 2s. You saw the one that I built for the father, Gary, and Gary is getting me to make this one, build this one for his son. So I think that's really neat. Okay, let's do some power checks. I showed you the receiver. Well, let's see. Let me show that to you again so I can show you on this camera. Okay, that's S9. 100 microvolts, 30% modulation. Okay, and let me get my camera stand here. That thing's the right height to set this camera on so we can see the meters. And I'm also recording on the other camera, on the GoPro. I am on AM, channel 20. Dead key in 10 watts. RF power's all the way up. Hello, audio, audio, 1, 2. Audio, hello, audio, 1, 2, 1, 2, audio. Now you can see that it every now and then it peaks to 50. This radio still has FQP 13N10s in it, and they are notorious for acting like fuses. So I did turn it down a little bit. Instead of having it go full bore and hit 50 watts all the time, I backed it off a little. Okay. Audio, hello, hello, audio. Audio 1 2 1 2 audio. And that's to increase the life of the power transistors. All right. That's in AM. This is FM. We're dead keying 30 watts. Okay. Ignore the peak meter in FM. We're doing 30 watts in FM. Okay. This is upper side. I'm going to go ahead and go to lower side. Hello, audio. Audio 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. Audio testing. Testing 1 2 1 2 audio. Audio, hello, hello, audio. You see that it's peaking at 60. I went ahead and let it peak at 60 on sideband because, you know, they're peaks. It doesn't stay over there all the time like it does on AM and FM. Okay? Hello, audio, audio 1 2 1 2 audio. Audio, hello, hello, audio. Now, those FQP 13N10s, they're hot little transistors, but like I said, they have a tendency to act like fuses. I've gotten numerous radios, both the Lincoln 2, the Anytones, AT66, where people have turned them all the way up, and of course those FQP 13N10s don't last. They can't take that. They come in here all blown apart. And of course the radio's not working, they plug it in, blows a fuse, etc., etc. So I did turn them down, set the bias perfectly, so they should last. Okay? But that's going to do it. Alright. Gary Jr., I sure hope you enjoy your new radio. It was my pleasure to set them up for you guys. 7-3, everybody. Happy Father's Day. Stay safe.